Backstab opportunity as they start to tuck their way in, but the timing could not possibly be worse. They managed to make their way round. I don't think they expect Cello here, but he's whiffing all his shots. Finally finds the connection onto Tess's, but he needed a little bit more there, I think. As Heroic already a man down. They've dived down connector. They've forced the CT rotation up to A, and now they're going to set up their execute onto B.
They've been giving MIBR the run around in this one, but the man advantage for the Brazilians spoke too soon. It slips away from them. And now an isolated player in the form of SSH. He does manage to find one a second as well. Pulls off the reload and a third. Cadian has absolutely fluffed that one up. Bolts from behind meanwhile. Cello got to be careful not to drop the M4. Flash comes in, not really feeling confident to go around the corner. Smoke over the top, does get a clean one onto Cadian, but now being rushed down. A second coming in, no one around to trade him, really, as he keeps on fragging. Beautifully done. They're not massively challenging, but all the same, feels good to get your confidence rolling. It's down with a quick kill and a tag on that scout. Lovely to see, but 4 more players to find by himself.
Being flanked from connection for a while. SHZ should get it, but Yell's going to jump the gun in. A bit of a timer on them, and it just outstayed their welcome ever so slightly. MIBR just held for a little too long. You could see the setup of how it was meant to function, but Cello going down was huge, and Nico now starting to thin the numbers even further. Denoco taken out as he tries to get some aggression coming in towards short. And from here, I think MIBR have got a really critical decision to make. Yell fully invested onto that AWP, just $300 remaining, and as Stound takes out SHZ, it's going to be very difficult to even justify this take. Bolts.
It's early. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. But all the same, I just think that MIBR nerves and shakiness in places certainly going to have an effect. Not right now for Yell, though. Does get taken down by Borup in the end.
The position, at least, of the first ban. SHZ hiding in and amongst that smoke, trying to back out of things and getting some good damage while he does so as well. Heroic, they're desperate to commit to this side, but yet to find a pick. Borup straight through the smoke will go down. Denoco doing a fantastic job of holding, and Heroic, for now at least, has stalled a second pick. Finally traded out, but it's all going the CT side's way as Cadian's left 1v4.
Very curious to be left in this situation. That flick is so fast. I think the damage done from the dinky almost gets another. Got to claw their way back in.
Yeah, perhaps starting to see some of those reasons that Heroic don't play overpass so much. As you said, they've been stalled by a couple of smokes, and Cello's aggression's going to be rewarded now, pushing all the way into the playground, gets 2 huge headshots, bomb down as well. Heroic altering ever so slightly here, not gonna find that kill either. SHZ, he's tagged down low, but he's doing more and more damage to Stound as he tries to retreat. His own nade's gonna tuck him even lower, down to just 5 points of health, and
turn things back in their favor. Not quite upside down, it's not completely wild, but and as you can see, the team responds in kind. Rotation starting to come in. Cello got to find this frag. He does indeed. Yell, meanwhile, only good for 1. The A-bomb site itself has fallen by the looks of things. Tess's with that trade definitely securing it, but the bomb out in no man's land. Rotations coming through the smoke. It's risky. SHZ, not so sure about that move. Into a 2-on-2. Cello, though, still the thorn in the side towards short, and Cadian's trying to find him around the smoke. Oh, misses an easy sitter. And he will pay the price. 6th round for MIBR.
Aqui pro MIBR porque joga a equipe da Heroic para econômico. Vamos!
Bora pra cima, round econômico, passagem rápida em direção no site da B, bom trabalho já do SHZ, olha só como chega, SHZ, falta um pouquinho pra eliminar o jogador, que é isso? Sensacional, vem o ponto pro Brasil, é 7-2 na tela, Raul! Vamos que vamos, Raul! Pouquíssima vida ali pro Borup, hein? 3 de HP o jogador. Borup. Ah, tem que tomar cuidado. SHZ foi encontrado. Boa bala do Danoco pra cima do Borup. Heroic também movimenta seus jogadores pela rua. São 30 segundos pra garantir esse plant a equipe da Heroic. Tomar cuidado. A defesa próxima ao capinhão. Foi encontrado. O jogador, o Tizes, traz o abate pra cima do Cello. 20 segundinhos, 3x3. Temos kit defuse ali com o bolso. Também tem mais... Muito cuidado. Tem kit ainda, MIBR, precisa recuperar como site, foi encontrado pelo Tiz, pegou o primeiro spray em caixa para o jogador da equipe da Heroic, sobra somente o Boltz agora, vai tentar ficar tranquilo, vamos ver se os jogadores da equipe da Heroic vão tentar caçar o Boltz, o ponto é da Heroic, 7-4, Raul. Steven tentando a passagem pela região ali do cimento, SHZ tá marcando pelo tóxico. Danoco, para a tentativa, o Tiz acaba conseguindo concluir essa kill. 4 contra 4. Bolt tem que ser só spray, mas sem sucesso. Olha o SHZ, tá brilhando o SHZ. É um 3x2 agora. Valoriza, MIBR.
A Poca dizendo,
Olha
valoriza.
só o
Meu
Yel.
Deus, Yel.
Olha só o Yel. E agora sobra somente o Steven. Tavin tá tentando buscar uma brecha. Tentando achar algum jogador ali um pouco mais curioso, mas por enquanto tá no sossego. E o SHZ brilha. 3 kills dele no round. E Cajun. Passagem pelo fundo um pouco mais avançado, 18 segundinhos somente. Boltz, para do Boltz, pegou o primeiro, deitou o segundo, trabalho do Boltz. Sobra somente agora 2 jogadores, vem a troca no 2x2.
Para.
Ai, meu Deus, não conseguiu, Yel, que pecado. A C4 foi plantada para a equipe da Herói, que é um 2x2. Vamos acompanhando a decisão agora do MIBR. SHZ, viu pelo caminhão já o jogador, tenta o confronto. Tá sem kit de defuse ali os jogadores do MIBR. Yel, 2x1, boa Yel! Boa Yel, boa MIBR pra cima e pro ponto, Raul!
Shot from Yell this time, but if they get the second bite at it, Tessa's able to trade for one, and the aggression of Cello, perhaps a little bit overly keen. Both players getting aggressive. You can understand Cello's there to back Yell up, but when he goes down, he just needs to get out of dodge. SHZ doing a fantastic job again winning his fight, this time in the connector, and down on half HP. Kavian actually can't quite find the trade. He's going to drop the HE to try and get it, but so much damage done, and as Boltz takes out Tess's, Kavian on 6 HP in the 1v2, he does manage to recover his favoured gun.
I'm sure he'd love to save, to be honest, even on the T side, but no option, so has to push forwards. Has to be successful, I feel, for Heroic. Set them up in a nice little position. The first face, though, onto Boltz, and unfortunately not ready for the angle.
Partiu. Segunda metade, o Pistol Round já está na tela, hein, Babi?
Bora que bora, vamos que vamos. Olha o trabalho que já faz a equipe do MIBR. É uma situação agora de 3 contra 2. A decisão é de passar de direção ao site da B. A C4 ainda se encontra com o Yel, Defuse e o Steven.
Tá vindo.
Tá vindo, que já acabou indo.
Foi de base.
Cajun sozinho pelo céu. Vai tentar a distância, valorizar ali a USP. Que bala pra cima do Yel.
É valorizar.
Tem que tomar cuidado. Boa, SHZ
isso.
em cima. Escolhe forçar, então, a equipe da Herói, que tem ali os armamentos. Meu Deus, o Nico traz uma eliminação. Situação é de 4 contra 4. Vamos ver o Nico na tentativa. 11-5. E bora, galera. Vamos alcançar aí 100 mil aqui na Twitch. Quem coloca na arquibancada? Vamos lá. Deixando mais confortável o seu parceiro para garantir o plant dessa C4. Já tá no solo, hein? Olha o Yel. Que pecado. Não acredito. Machucou bastante os jogadores ali da região do banco. É uma situação agora de 3 contra 2. Tem que tomar cuidado com o Cajun. Sobra o SHZ. Pegou o primeiro. Faltam 2. Mais um pra conta. Falta mais um SHZ. Falta mais um SHZ. Acabou a munição. Puxou a P250, o tempo tá passando a favor do brasileiro e é isso! 4 kills do SHZ sensacional! E a movimentação e decisão de passagem pro bombsite da B.
Tentou fazer um barulho lá na A pra ver se movimenta alguns jogadores, vamos ver se vai funcionar.
Yel. Vai aparecendo, já spotou o primeiro, tem mais jogador pela água, Cajun consegue essa eliminação, cai mais um jogador, sobra somente SHZ e Danoco. O tempo tá curtíssimo, o Tizes garante ainda assim mais um abate, SHZ tem que correr para as colinas para salvar esse armamento. O ponto fica para a equipe da Heroic, 13-6.
Ele até pegou aquela WP, né, fez a troca com o seu...
Pra a entrada acontecer com flashbang também, a equipe do MIBR agora na tentativa. Toma cuidado com o Cajun, conseguiu o abate pra cima do Cello. Danoco também acaba caindo, olha o Bolt chegando ali pela região das costas. E El, 3x2, 13 segundos somente. Jogador pelo caminhão. Tem que tomar cuidado. Olha só, o Bolt pode garantir esse abate. Conseguiu a kill, sobra somente ele. O tempo tá curtíssimo, não tem o que fazer. É ponto da equipe da Heroic. 13-7, Raul. Importante pra gente trazer depois esse pause ainda. Vamos lá.
Só o Danoco.
Que pena. Foi pego pelo Borb. O Cello conseguiu uma eliminação na troca pela Smoke. O Tiz consegue garantir esse abate. É um 3x2 agora. Sobra Yel e SHZ. Os dois trabalhando em direção ao bombsite da B por aqui. Yel e SHZ e Yel contra Tizes, Cajun e Nico. O tempo tá a nosso favor, tem jogador pelo caminhão já, tem que tomar cuidado. O Yel já tá marcando naquela área, foi encontrado
pelo Tizes.
Tudo na conta agora do SHZ.
É só ganhar tempo.
Colocado o jogador, eliminado
Ai.
pelos cheaters. O ponto vai ficar para a equipe da Heroic mais uma vez. Raulês, Danoco. Passagem um pouco mais acelerada aqui pra fonte. Boa, Danoco!
Boa.
Pra cima, Danoco! 2 abates importantes. Foi trocado agora pelo Tavim na região aqui da liga. Mas é isso, é propriedade, é impor o ritmo de jogo.
Olha,
Meu
só
Deus do céu. Boa, Yel.
trocou.
Rápida troca. 3x2. Mostra sorte pro azar por aqui.
Exatamente. Abre de mãozinha dada porque não tem como trocar mais uma vez.
Boa, Yel. É ponto
isso.
brasileiro, é ponto nosso 14, Raulês. 2x0 pro MIBR. Pra aquela estreia daquele jeito, né? Com aquele gostinho maravilhoso de vitória dos brasileiros.
Pra já começar muito bem.
Exato. Tavim. Boa, Bolts. Ah, Tavim, sai daí, cara. 4 contra 2. O avanço já acontecendo com o SHZ ali pela região do fundo. O Bolts também no domínio aqui do banheiro. 36 segundos. Ah, cara, o Tavim chato, chatão. SHZ. A tentativa boa, SHZ. 2x1, mas o Cajun chega pra finalizar. É ponto da Heroic 14. Com muito cuidado, a C4 tá com Bolts. Próxima região do sapo, que pecado. E o Tevin fica com 11 de HP. Situação é de 5 contra 2 por aqui. Ai, olha o avanço do Teases pelo sapo. SHZ aparece, boa SHZ. E Yel também consegue mais esse abate, é um 3x1 agora com 35 segundos restantes. Yel. Cauteloso, tem uma molotov ainda nas mãos.
Tem um jogador escondido ali no top.
Ai, apareceu. Boa bala, Yel. Boa bala, mas foi encontrado pelo Cajun. O ponto é da Heroic 14.
То есть 2 дуга в упоре и еще саппорт туда. Вы это просто не пройдете. Они не дочекали Ника за дверью, но с разменом удалось уравнять. 4 на 4 Кэддин на свече погибает. И что, подождите, да ну нельзя так делать.
Думаешь?
Вообще незаконно, это вообще
под
незаконно. Как?
Красавцы. Боров со спины заходит, убивает плентера. Вот он шанс, можно второго и третьего. Боже мой, Боров! Родной, успокойся. Я, конечно, понимаю, Шаук шикарное оружие в таких дистанциях, но MIBR просто one by one. Вылезли.
Так они также и опорников на... Он вообще не знает.
Он даже в ус не дует. Да, бывает, такое случается. Надо ВП еще забрать.
Просто открывался. Криминал.
А вот это уже шанс. Показать себя для Ника или Ела. Ну тут размен 1 на 2 будет, скорее всего. Флешка шикарная, на двоих. Боже, прилетела СКЗ очень долгое время. Не мог ничего увидеть. Если ты хочешь сказать то, что их переигрывают по флешкам, когда 2 чела просто вместе с фишкой толпятся внутри засмакованного, бесфлешечного...
Это без комментариев.
Это типа тебя просто, ну то есть ты сам говоришь, парни, я хочу, чтобы меня выдали по щам.
Понимаешь, закинули.
Так, ладно. Закидка пошла от Тессоса, он красава. Одного
Все,
убил,
все,
Кэддин
15.
второго, и Болт с 2 хп. Говорит, ладно. Я, конечно, Болт, но...
Better luck next time.
Yes, of course. Камрадес. 7 секунд осталось. Подождать босса. Не будут его упуливать.
Да им это не нужно. У них и так все под контролем. Знаешь, уже как минимум доп.
По стратегии выиграть 3 на 5 уже. Ника, по-моему, тут должен умирать, конечно же. Да, Актимирейн Тессос убивает Ела. Да Ноко не надо, бро. У тебя 10 хп. Зачем сейчас... При этом всем внутри планта у него играет Кэддин. Кэддин дает инфу о том, что смоки прилетели, хлопцы. Они some help on A-plant, ставн в упоре, чекнут ли, парни, ну чекать туалеты же надо! Что же вы делаете-то? Данка влетает, получает по щам, Болтс на размене, успевает поставить Си, но Боров здесь в упоре, но он успевал.
Нет, ну как успевал? Он не поставил в итоге, Дима, он ничего не успевал. Проблема в том, что...
успевал с точки зрения времени, но не успевал с точки зрения тайминга.
В итоге его переиграли, и знаешь, вот я хочу сказать, что да, действительно...
Just a matter of when the trigger is pulled on that first burst. Down takes the early contact, a huge Dinkin conversion, but Cadian is quickly there to trade before it all really falls apart for Heroic Bolts and SHZ. Again, 2 critical frags to open things up, and then the intelligence from MIBR to slow things right down. Cadian walks right into the awaiting crosshairs. Dink comes off. He's down to 10 HP as Bolts finds the conversion, and Yell finishes things off. A little bit cautious of these Eagles. place. That nade gets caught on the scenery, does nothing at all. Cadian manages to get an opening pick onto SHZ, and now Tessa's Deagle in tow could do a lot of work. He's taking tags through the smoke, but the aggression's worked out beautifully. Nico with 2 on the CZ, and Cadian chiming in with 1 more. The MP9 and CZ combo working.
Bomb plant comes in, the gap now begins to close. There's, of course, a very well-timed flank here from Stown that will, take him down. So, very well done from Heroic. Once again, something along those lines would be so good. He's very unsure whether there's a player holding off behind, though. 20 seconds left. Smokes come in. They've got to make a move. Yell through the smoke will find one. Borup trades back, but immediately dealt with. It's now on to Tessus and Stown. Oh my goodness, if you could see what we could see, landing the tag, go for another. So very close, but not able to get it done. Stown on the backside, though, with a quick double. Surely has sealed this. Cello has to find these remaining Heroic players on 20 HP. The toughest ask so far. His timing just a little bit off. Stown is watching for the flank from Scaffold, but it is not going to come. Oh, and a quick switch away of the crosshair screws him and seals his fate. Up close with Stown. Oh my goodness, the CTs rather, just around the corner. The flash comes in. It's not very successful. They lose a couple players, but they trade a couple back. I honestly thought that was going to be even worse. SHZ, meanwhile, from the other side as well, causing chaos. Another mental
Deep smoke on the catwalk from the T side, spamming away at that bomb. As much damage as they can, and Yell's found Stown. It's all on Borup now in the 1v2, and nobody's giving him a peek. Nobody's trying to face this AK-47. It's a full 10-second stick, and he doesn't want it. He's trying to get out of there with the AK-47. MIBR again will make the force by stick.
Flash comes over the top. Borup just about able to dip away, responding with a flash of his own. Oh, and a clean headshot of his own as well. See you later, Cello. 5 on 4. As we'll see whether MIBR can recover things back. The fast B hit so far unsuccessful. Very little control to speak of this B bomb site, losing another head. Oh! And the crack angle from Stown is so very clean. Borup also chiming in for his second, and I think that will do it. It will indeed. Cadian.
Nico still picking up a P250 and a Deagle. Denoco still going to get boosted up on low HP, but that's a beautiful read from Borup to take that man out early on. Deagle at least will drop into the hands of Cello, but as Stown takes out the mid control, these numbers are being thinned very quickly. I think Heroic starting to hit their stride just a little bit now.
Yeah, looking very good for them indeed. I think they will be happy to finally be the team to get the foothold, particularly on that CT side, right? If you're being kept back and kept back by continuous force buys and whatnot, it is
hoping for, and Nico taking advantage of some minuscule gaps in the smoke to open things up. Double peek from Cadian, and Tess says yields get more blood. Yell is heard wandering through these mollies, through these nades. Tess's will rip his head off with the MP9, and Heroic is very dire very quickly. Borup, for now, a little bit isolated over on B, but Stown has already rotated in to join him, and there we go. Stown finds the pick, leaving just Cello on that ramp. They are not letting MIBR have anything Heroic thing away at this point. Already a man up. Tess is on the tight angle as MIBR pretty much shepherded into this A hit now. Plenty of presence here for Heroic. Hot flash in for Tess. Says can't quite line them up. Too many targets. Not enough time, and Borup is caught looking completely the wrong way. Somehow, some way, MIBR have brought themselves back into this one. A man advantage on the retake, and they're in perfect afterplant positions. They really are. A man stuck up the catwalk, someone behind the sandbags, and 2 players on the ramp. Double AWP retake required for Heroic. I think if they don't get a pick soon, this is a done deal. Pop flash is perfect. Cello takes out one, and the second just peeking straight in, make it 3. He's got to fall off. His teammates on half HP. They're potentially coming up the ramp, so they'll have to readjust. Now the util comes over the top. Beautiful pop flash. Tessis goes down, and Cadian, he's got to trade so many frags here. He'll find the first, but on low HP as his teammates taken out through the smoke. Cadian will be hunted into this ramp, and I'm not sure there's anything these 2 AWPs can do to stop MIBR getting their 5th round. SHZ, not aware of the deep angle, will at least go down, but there's got to be so much more where that came from, and now Cadian's position is known. Yell will deal with him.
Not the cleanest of flashbangs, unfortunately, but Stown has made his way back around. to get the backstab onto Danico. Going to tap the bomb and Yell on the AWP. Well, it's a great angle for the AWP in all fairness, and a difficult one for Stown to deal with here. No kit means very little time. Maximum damage done across to MIBR so far. I mean, even more if you can find the frag here, but unfortunately the round falls away for Heroic. It's a nice one, to be fair. 39 points of damage onto SHZ. The entire MIBR team starting to move up. Cadian finds one, and he is defended by Nico. Defended perfectly. A brilliant squire for his king, and Tessus, meanwhile, also getting wide. Also finding two. Yell caught completely off guard as Tessus finds 3 down ramp.
A hell of a time holding this A-bomb site.
Yell needs to be careful. They know that he's here. Nice nade in. Tessus, meanwhile, breaking the silence to find the first, and Borup, up close and personal on the smoke, gets a double. MIBR once again seem to have met the immovable object that is the Heroic defense. And it is not looking good. I don't think anything's going to give here. Clean little spray down onto Tessus, though, as he questions his life decisions. Will get traded. All left onto Yell, therefore, with 25 seconds, no bomb, 30 HP, no utility, no head armor even. So he's pretty much screwed is what I'm trying to say, but at the same time I think he realizes saving this bullet is not really worth it. In and around the smoke, manages to fly the double. That's a lot of damage done, but runs out of ammo and is soft enough for Borup to...
For this pop flash, it's had mixed results when they've ran it. This time he might just hang on this close angle, and indeed he will. Quick double spray down, looking for more. Cadian behind him, and the trade is 4 for 1 in favor of Heroic. Complete chaos on the A ramp, but it comes up perfectly for the CT side. It's all on bolts. And the 1v4, just a deagle to work with, and nobody is going to give him anything. Cadian to CT side, never a great place to be, but a huge nade to open things up. Heroic just going straight through it, just swinging into the crosshair, and Tessa's actually able to find the early opening as they continue to keep pushing, aggressing, forcing MIBR back off of this A bomb site, and it's all a ruse. It's drawn at least a few rotations. Danoco surely doesn't expect this close presence. Stown gets 2, and the ruse is up for MIBR.
That is such a rough pistol, but it seems they've pulled it back to a 2-on-2. It looked like it was all but over, and Nico, well, he says it pretty much is. Sorry, boys, that was a bit of a bait. Nice shots, but now is a very good chance to do so. Borup, though, just bounding in towards B. Goodness gracious. Cello very ready for it, however. Listen. Bolt gets impatient. Oh, yes, indeed. Could walk straight into his crosshair. That's exactly what has happened. Leaves him low HP. And still, of course, a solid man advantage. Is it a fair trade for the information? We're about to find out. Stown takes down another. Danico out in the open. He needs more. Has to do something here. Has to stop them.
Gets first. Tessus walks right into the crosshairs. The health just isn't there. Nico, he was waiting. He was meant to be the man who catches the... Plenty of cash, of course, on the side of Heroic after such a strong start.
An off angle in and around Hazard. Needs to be careful. Flash is coming over the top, turns away from them, manages to find one, a double spray down, in fact. Beautifully done. He just needs the rest of the boys to step up in the same way. Great little flash to get bolts off of the angle towards Aircon. Does manage to find one still, though. Great little nade going in to help him out. The teammates now arriving. Not looking good for Heroic. Down goes Stown, all on to Tessus here in round number 20. Clean little headshot onto SHC, but the bomb is dropped, and I mean, he has information of maybe one other player. Is there someone flanking me right now? Don't quite know, but gets above the smoke. Smart as you like. They have to be so careful not to allow this to fall. Quick headshot onto Bolts, and he brings it down to a 1-on-1, looking for the ace, but denied away by Danico. Thank goodness for MIBR, but my God.
Down on that B bomb site. It's just SHZ. That's all they've got. He will deal with Borup, and actually the bomb will make its rotation back around. Cello will have his chance again. He's got the first, but Cadian is finally there to trade, and Danoco, they asked it of him once. Can they do it again? Tessus needs to find this kill, and he won't. Danoco on the AUG will find the double spray down. Nico with 20 seconds left is thrown into the 1v2. This should have been a dead set round, and now with 11 HP, Nico has got to try and find a surely impossible clutch. Denoco will have his third. And once again, heroic. Cello going to be pot flashed in. He's done so much work over on that B ramp, and again he finds the opening, this time onto Nico. A dink through the wood onto Borup. SS, meanwhile, does manage to find a trade over on A at least, but SHZ is there in response, and 3-on-3. Orp still on the server. Heroic really being forced out from this B bomb site. Cello doing so much work here, they can't really afford to commit. Players. Heroic finally stick the land, showing up to start putting his hand up and be counted to prevent his team taking their opening loss of Summit 7, but Denoco with just an XM trying to get aggressive, goes down to Tess's early. Can't make it work. Cello again. Big trade over on the B bomb site. Seems to have this ramp angle on lock, but his A site teammates are falling slowly but surely. They've actually wrapped him in mid, and I don't think he's all that aware of how many angles he's vulnerable from. Sprayed down through the boxes by Cadian. 4-on-2. MIBR almost forced into this, but make it one as Stown is already cutting away the rotations. This is so well played from Heroic. And Yell, with no money behind him, his AWP in his hands, has got to try and hold on to it.
Does find one, gets away from the molly. But they are on the hunt. They are not letting this man get away without a fight, that is for sure. Tesses needs to peek at the right time, and he does. Clean headshot to take him down.
Looping back around. Denoco on the tight angle. Don't even see an XM on Vertigo. Makes it work, though. Manages to find the 1-for-1 trade. At least trades his own death well. Keeps his team a man up. Heroic. Really only one site they can commit to at this point. It's the one they've been having the most success on, queuing up on that A ramp. Stage Z looking for the flash, popped into it. Won't spot anyone out just yet. With 40 seconds left, Heroic will be committing to this, and it becomes a matter of timing. Yell already starting to think about that flank. Tess says needs to clear SHZ out of this tight angle, but the flashes over the top are making it difficult. Will finally find the frag. That should open things up for the bomb plant unless Nico gets taken down through the smoke, and Cadian has dealt with the flank. There's just two bodies remaining, Cello and Bolt. We need a hero play from one of them. Bolt is trying to land it. Cello has found one, and with 12 seconds left, they've got to get this bomb down. Cadian deals with the close player, and it's all on Cello. 1v2, swinging into it, desperate to find anything he can. Cadian's got him locked in, misses the shot, but they're stuck on this bomb site, the T side. At least he's kept them close, but that's not enough. 16-9 will be the final scoreline. It was so close on Overpass. It's a little bit further away on the